Hey guys, now a couple of days ago I decided to watch Netflix originals The King. Now, it's ironic that I would find this. Now, I'm not a person that likes a lot of historical style of movies. This is very much one of those. And did a little bit of research. It's actually based on Shakespeare. Not the first time I reviewed a Shakespeare movie on this, of course, Macbeth, the Australian version of Macbeth. So this was very much very grounded. Even though I do know there's a little bit of controversy with this movie, with its historical accuracy and things like that. But I thought the choices that the director had chosen, the cinematographer had chosen, was unique. One of the things I enjoyed about watching it was the fact that all of the interior felt really historical. What I mean by that is it was using a lot of natural lighting, and if it needed an artificial light, it was from a candle, which I know for a fact, doing a little bit, knowing a little bit about castles and whatnot. They didn't use a lot of it felt like not a lot of overhead lighting, like artificial light that you would see in movies. This felt they needed a light. They would use a candle, which is what they would have done back in Henry V's time. And I thought that was so unique. Like, you didn't see every little aspect of the sets. So that was quite unique. I had to say, in terms of the cast, I only knew 3 of the technically 3 definitely. Now, who am I referring to? I'm referring to Timothée Chalamet. Of course, I've already reviewed him as part of Wonka and Dune. Josh Eccleston. Now, he is a great Australian actor who I've seen The Great Gatsby. I know he did The Guest. And I believe he might have been in Ned Kelly. I'm not sure about that last one. And, of course, Mr. Robert Pattinson. Of course, HP, Twilight. I know he did the Batman. I've not seen it. So they were the only actors I knew. The 4th one I am referring to is Ro Lee Depth. I actually know her parents more than she did. She had a very, very small part. And I have to say, they cast really well, and you could really feel the mateship between Joel and Timmy. You could really felt like, especially when Tommy from Game of Thrones is also in this. I completely forgot about him. That is Jaime and Cersei Lannister's youngest, who famously jumped off tower, especially after his wife died. That's a very famous scene in Game of Thrones. You could really felt the friendship between Henry and I'm just gonna say Timmy and Joel. You could really feel their friendship, especially when spoiler, but not spoiler if you know your history. When Joel decides to go into the first wave against the French, you could feel that, you could see in Tommy's eyes, he did not want to lose him. He really respected his counsel and his friendship. And when you see Joel's body a little bit later, he had to try and play those two conflicting emotions between the sadness of losing his good friend, but also having to be like a strong leader. You can really feel that confliction in that particular moment where you just see Joel's lifeless body and Tim going, I've lost him. I don't know what to do. That was so well handled, and the dialogue didn't feel very stunty. Like, it felt really grounded. I'm not sure about this. There is a little bit of swearing in this, but I don't know if it's historical or they did it for our ears. The costumes were gorgeous. Like, I've seen a fair few historical dramas. I've seen The Other Bolton Girl, Game of Thrones, The Crown, The Tudors, and it felt like costumes that you could see the characters wear. How can I put it? That I can put it bluntly. And it's I have to say, this is so well handled. I thought it was beautiful. The fact that like the costumes look a little like really lived in, and you could sense the different classes as well. Because when Henry was with the common people, he wasn't the King of England. And then when he progressed from being just Prince Henry, Prince of Wales, and when he had transitioned from that to the King, you could see him really changing. Like, a really strong sort of way you can tell is Tim's hair, which is, I know that's an odd thing to bring up, but he went from like, I would say long-ish hair, almost a similar length to what he had in Dune at the start of the movie, and then you just see him with when he gets the crown, he goes straight into a bowler hat, bowler style, like really short, really bold, like he literally just put a bowl on his head. I thought that was so like and then with that, his attitude changed. He wasn't so playboy, you could say, and he felt like he took on that responsibility of being King of England, and I thought that was so well handled. And I think we need more of those style of movies in this world. I just need to seek them out more. And I think even with a little bit of historical inaccuracy, it's still a movie that you could follow from part to part, and you can sort of see, and I know for a fact, Tim didn't have to he didn't have to learn the language of French, which is what he does speak a little bit in the movie. I know he already speaks the language quite fluently, actually, which I thought was a testament. And I noticed the King of France, the Prince of the Dauphin, Robert Pattinson, he can't speak French. And I thought that was an odd choice that the prince would say himself, let's converse in English. But I thought was I know he didn't want his soldiers to hear the conversation, but it would have been nice for the Dauphin, Robert's character, to actually speak complete French. You hear a few lines of French from Robert, but it would have been a little bit nicer for him to possibly speak more French, because he is the Crown Prince of France. It's the only thing I found was a bit strange. But other than that, I thought it was a really well fine. I liked it. If I could get this thing on DVD, I probably would buy it. But I know Netflix doesn't release a lot, or I would buy it on iTunes. But have you sat through Netflix's The King? Please write your comments in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, I know I have a review coming next week, and let's just say Wednesday I'm not going to get much sleep. You'll find out on Thursday. Ciao.